Oh, comic fam. Good to see you today. Thanks for joining us. Russ, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well. How you doing, Tom?
Dude, I'm doing great. I bagged aboard a bunch of stuff. What'd you do today?
Oh my God, I bagged and boarded a lot of stuff too.
It's like that's what we do every day.
That is what we do every day. It's so much work.
All right, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We make a lot of comic book themed content, and today, just like we do every single Friday, we're talking about the top 10 hottest comic books of the week, courtesy of who, Russ?
Key Collector Comics, the most fantastical app you are ever going to get, available on iOS and Android.
The first comic book app that exclusively focuses on key moments in comics to help you in your collecting, but also to showcase the ones that are actually gaining value.
And if you'd like to get a free week, you should sign up with our special code TOM101.
The next sponsor we got to chat with you about is Kevin Esslinger. He's the first sponsor of the Mystery Mail Call, our comic book subscription service. Every single month, our Mystery Mail Call members receives one limited signed print courtesy of Kevin. And this month, oh, did he bring the heat. We have absolute carnage going out to every single member of the community.
Beautiful.
So if you haven't joined yet, hit the link in the bio and join the Mystery Mail Call. We'll start sending you comic books every month. You can go to kevinesslinger.com and pick out a print and use code TOM101 to get an additional 3 prints free. How dope is that?
That is pretty cool.
All right, Russ, we got a packed list today. We got to jump into it because we got some comic books to talk about. Coming in out of nowhere, we have the first appearance of the Phalanx. Coming in at number 10, issue number 305 of X-Men. Why would you guess we're talking about an X-Men title right now?
It has to be something to do with Jonathan Hickman and the House of X Powers of 10.
Well, the return of this xenomorph crossed with a Borg-like character, this technological, organic manifestation that just causes havoc over all the mutants, make an appearance in the most recent run. Now, in issue 305, Rogue gets infected by this alien, but you don't actually see it manifest into its real being. You don't actually get a cameo appearance until issue number 311, and then issue number 312 is actually considered the character's first main appearance in their true form. This is a conversation we have a lot, Russ. Real first appearances, cameo appearances. Which one do you put your money on?
Well, you don't have to put your money on any of them because this week we have all 3 of them that we are giving away. We have X-Men 305, 311, and 312, all first 3 appearances of the Phalanx.
My bet is on 312. I like the first full, but you know what? You can decide. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about these types of real first conversations. We're talking about an affordable book right now. Seeing sales around the $5 mark raw, 9.8s hitting 40, a 300% increase in sales since the week prior.
A last-minute addition on the list, number 9, Submariner number 1. It's great to see Namor getting some love because we know that there was a little bit of an allusion to him being at the bottom of the ocean during Endgame. Well, we're seeing an 80% increase compared to last week in the sales of this.
News of a casting call this week. Marvel is looking for an actor to play the king of a distant kingdom. Submariner books are on the rise.
So this book has been moving, and you can get a 6.0 or a 7.0 in CGC for about $400 right now, which seems like a really, really good price. But if you want one of the best deals right now, pick up the Iron Man and Submariner number 1. It's a one-shot. It's a really underrated Silver Age book that basically bridges the gap between the end of Tales of Suspense and Iron Man's ongoing series and Submariner's ongoing series.
They didn't do a bunch of one-shots back then either. That's pretty unique, isn't it?
I know, it's very unique, the fact that they did a bridging one-shot. And there were a bunch of Marvel series that kind of ended and changed titles. We saw Hulk and Captain America change from their original series into their following series.
Tales to Astonish and
So
all
the
that.
fact that we had a bridging issue, this is just an anomaly.
Coming in at number 8, Batman 655 making the list. This is a book that routinely comes on spec radar at least like once a year, I feel like. We have the first appearance of Damian Wayne, and this is the son of Batman. Now, why Damian Wayne all of a sudden? Well, we have noticed as of today, within the last 24 hours, that the Arkham Knight, the next sequel to this giant game franchise that has brought so many Batman fans to DC, well, it was canceled. But the concept art was released. And it was also revealed that Damian was supposed to be the lead of this game, that Bruce Wayne was not going to be the character that we were going to play. And this concept art came out. We saw a new rendition of the Black Mask as a female. And because Damian was the choice character for this franchise. It's got this renewed interest. Obviously, DC's paying attention to this character, and they want us to as well.
I used to make video games for a living, and without breaking any NDAs, the company that I worked for got bought by Warner Brothers, and we immediately started working on 3 Batman games, one of which happened to be a sequel to some game possibly called Arkham. One of them was a handheld game, and one of them was something for your phones. All of them got canceled. There is concept art for Out of It, and it would blow someone's mind if you got to see it. So the fact that this leaked is super cool, but it's not really going to lead into anything. It's nice to see a renewed love for Damian Wayne, though.
We have raw copies hitting $25, $30 for, the higher grades.
Sure.
But 9.8s are seeing highs at 130. And then at number 7, you scoffed when we put this one on the list because you knew that this would be on it.
I totally did. Now, this one's a great book. Once and Future. Now, just story-wise, this is fantastic. We have Kieran Gillen, who you may have heard, wrote that Die thing. And Die was very, very popular over the last year, those kids. But Kieran Gillen is now doing kind of a rethinking of the Arthurian legend, kind of Knights of the Round Table, called Once and Future. This comic came out on Wednesday, 2 days ago. First prints barely hit the shelf. Second prints were already sold out at Diamond, and third prints are already being solicited. As of work end Thursday, I got an email letting me know that I could order the 4th prints of the main cover. Now, we're seeing first prints of number 1 go for about $10, but what made the list is the 1 per store secret variant. It's a retailer thank you, and they didn't let us know we were getting it until about 5 days before it showed up.
Did you get one?
I did.
How did it look? Was it damaged?
Oh, no, it's gorgeous. Mine was actually
out.
really, really nice, and I had one of my patrons who wrote me an email and said, "Would you sell this to me?" And I said, "Absolutely." So, mine looked really, really sharp, and he got it. So, Dan, I hope you enjoy that one. Coming on the list right now, $55 is what this marked, but we were seeing them go anywhere between $50 and $75, and a lot of that was condition sensitive because there seems to be a good amount of this print run that were damaged. Go figure.
Swinging over here on the list at number 6, we got a comic book that is exciting every member of the community because a lot of people got it.
Mm-hmm.
We have Secret Wars issue number 1. What? Okay, so we're talking about the first in this epic series, this major crossover event. And there has been leaks. There's been some news and rumors that maybe Secret Wars is the next big thing. We have a convention coming up. Did Marvel withhold information at San Diego Comic-Con? Do we have more announcements coming?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing that's being spec'd on, and I'm talking you have Emergency Awesome talking about this. We got TiVo at Lords of the Long Box bringing this up. This is a comic book that may be hitting the screen. We may be seeing Avengers Secret Wars. Now, that's the spec. Do we know this happening for sure?
Oh, no.
Absolutely not. But we are seeing increases to this book because of it. Now, we're seeing lows of $25 for this book, but 9/8's hitting $200. It's pretty staggering because this isn't number 8.
No, it's not. It's really great to see number 1 of this get the love it kind of deserves. This was brought to my attention last year that there was a color discrepancy, and CGC actually had started mentioning that there was what they called it, the blue Galactus variant.
Yeah, it's a blue error because Galactus is blue when he's supposed to be in color.
Right. So the error happens, and CGC has marked a few of these books as the errors. Over the course of the last year, I have inspected every single one of these Secret Wars number 1 I have picked up. Out of the 50 I've inspected, only 2 have the correct colors. There are way more of these errors out there from what I have found in my small sample size. If you look at your first page and you look at about page 10 where Galactus is flying, his coloring is all wrong. Check your books. There doesn't seem to be a price difference right now, but I honestly believe that the pricing should be more towards the correct one, which was released later in the run.
Which is pretty interesting because we have some more comic books to talk about on the list that have some problems inside. But this Secret Wars number 1 is seeing a double in sales week versus the prior.
Wow.
And then the next one on the list is going to be making people scream.
It absolutely will. Number 5, Lethal Protector number 4, which is first appearance of Scream. Now, we had a key collector alert in May letting us know that there was a Scream series that had been announced at the Diamond Retailer Summit. The initial title was supposed to be Scream, Daughter of Venom. Well, Absolute Carnage Scream came out on Wednesday, and it sold, and it went quickly. Really, really great. And also, if you happen to have picked up enough copies, there was a 1 in 25 Mike Allred variant,
Heck yeah,
which
man.
was an homage to the Scream classic painting. So that's a great one if you can find that one out there. But Lethal Protector 4 going for $15 right now, 9.8s at 80, and considering how integral this character is probably going to be to the Absolute Carnage series, we could see even higher spikes.
Now at number 4, we got another one that caught me by surprise this week. I'm excited to report that X Factor number 6 is hot again. All right, we have more Hickman news coming out, and it is very clear that in this dystopian future that is depicted in this story, Apocalypse is like the new leader of the X-Men. All right, no Charles Xavier here.
Right.
We have the X-Men seeking help from Apocalypse. Maybe we're going to see an Apocalypse versus Nimrod. I don't know if this is going to happen, but Apocalypse is getting some more, attention. And I think the reason why we're seeing spikes in this book, because we're seeing high grades go for like 25 to 30. We're seeing 9/8 hitting $400.
Wow.
Again, we haven't seen that since the movie dropped. Well, at least right before the movie dropped. And I think that's why we're seeing this increase. Because when the movie hit and it tanked, everybody thought that's it. No. If the movie doesn't do well, it's done, right? No, because if the comics do well, the movies don't matter. And that's an example right here. We're seeing a 30% increase in sales from the prior week.
You know what? I just believe Jonathan Hickman has 1,000 copies of X Factor number 6 hiding in his garage.
He's pumping dumping.
He's totally pumping and dumping. This is it.
I knew it. Okay, talk to me about number 3 on the list, because Immortal Hulk number 1's making it.
Immortal Hulk number 1. And this is really cool because we talked a whole lot about the first appearance of Professor Fry, and that book was going and spiking in 3rd, 4th, 5th prints of all of the above. Immortal Hulks flew off the shelf, and we knew that the print runs were very, very low. But we still weren't seeing a lot of spikes of number 1 of the run. Now, with the potential end of the run, knowing that 24 and 25 are supposed to be
It's like an end of the series.
The end is what we're hearing, but we're also hearing potentially it may not be the end. Who really knows?
Marvel likes restarting things at number 1. They want to probably do some type of Immortal Hulk, 30 different variants or something.
Oh, totally. Marvel knows that number 1s sell very well. And this one had a print run of about 75,000 when it first came out. So we're finally seeing them $25 raw and about 75 for a 9.8. This is a 30% increase compared to last week, which may not sound like a lot, but considering how hot Immortal Hulk has been for months now, this is a substantial spike for an issue number 1.
I'm picking up issue 24. The cover has me intrigued. It's different. It's different than the other 23 issues. Issue number 25 is being solicited as a groundbreaking, world-breaking issue that you haven't never read a Hulk or a comic book like this before. Something's happening. Something big is happening, and I'm so excited because Immortal Hulk, it's all come to this point, and you know it's got to be epic.
Coming to the list, number 2, we have Supergirl 33, Cover B, the Derek Chew cover.
That's right. And we're picking this one out of the 4 comics that were recalled this week. Now, why this book among the rest?
Well, the Derek Chew variant is very, very cool. And I really personally like the Adam Hughes Crypto variant the best. But as far as print run goes, we know that the Supergirl book has at least half the print run, if not less than that, of the Superman book. So we really think that with the added desire for the Derek Chew variant, I think this is going to be the one that's going to hold its value the longest.
So what the heck happened with this? Because, man, I don't even really understand what's going on. At first, it was like they put a logo on these by mistake. But then they released Catwoman with the wrong logo, and they didn't recall that one. And then now I'm hearing that they're changing the covers for the re-release.
Yeah, and this is a really interesting thing about recalls. So we've seen recalls before. The Elektra recall where she was naked on the inside, Elektra 3 from the Marvel Knights run, and the
Wolverine one.
Wolverine 131 where they said the wrong name instead of Killer for Sabretooth. They reissued these, but you have to open the book and flip through and find where the recall was because the cover is exactly the same. They are doing entirely new covers for Supergirl A and B and Superman A and B. So you absolutely know you have the recall with the wrong covers.
Super interesting, but it's this news and the further speculation on why this actually happened has driven these books up, and they're going up still.
They really, really are. And we're seeing these books in the $30 to $35 range. Sets of 4 are going between $150 and $199. What I want people to remember is that last year at this point in time, there was a Wolverine book that came out, and the second print of Wolverine #1 had a wrap of Dr. Aphra inside it that was released. It was recalled immediately by Marvel.
That was spiked hard, too.
It was selling for $50 right out of the gate. People were spending a ton of money. That book is now available online for $6. It's a little different story because they're reissuing this with a different cover. We know that there's different cover artists, but still be really careful. If you can get a good price on this, fantastic, but don't go out and spend $50 on this book because I really don't know how long-term it's going to hold.
#1 on the list. If you found any value to this video, please hit that thumbs up. We need the comic book community support now more than ever. We have Venom, issue #9, first appearance, well, we'll get into it, of Dylan, Eddie Brock's son.
Nice.
Now, we have seen a 260% increase in sales in just 1 week for this book. And why? Because Absolute Carnage recently solicited Absolute Carnage #5. It's being said that Carnage and Venom will be fighting to the death.
Wow.
Something big's got to happen,
Yeah,
man. I mean,
absolutely.
Donny Cates didn't spend all this time writing this epic saga to let us down with kind of a clunker of an ending. Something big's got to happen. Are they lying that one of them's going to die? Who knows? But the spec over this last year about Dylan has been
That he's going to replace Eddie.
yeah, or he's going to take on the symbiote. Maybe he is the next Venom. Well, this is the reason why this book is spiking, that people are speculating that this character has more to do in this run, and that he may have more to do in the Marvel universe.
That is really, really great. Well, we are definitely seeing this book spiking. Remember, there is also a second print of Venom #9 that is going to be more desirable because there is a different cover art.
That's right. And there's a little bit of a controversy in the community because let's remember, there is a flashback sequence in issue #7 that does show Dylan, but they barely show Dylan.
Right.
And that issue also had that tongue secret variant. So there was also this like added layer of excitement because of that secret that I think boosted the sales of this first print.
Right.
But then coupling that with the Dylan spec, oh, people are picking up both. I think the money is in issue #9 though.
I agree.
Now, do we have the next Venom? Do we have the next Princess Fisk on our hands? Well, this book is going for $15 raw and climbing and seeing a 260% increase in sales in just 7 days. I'd like to remind everybody that we do have an awesome giveaway for today, issues 305, 311, and 312 of X-Men. We also are giving away one print from Kevin Esslinger Art, this awesome Absolute Carnage. Just comment, let us know what you think about this list. Did you find anything fun on your hunt this week? We'd like to hear from you.
And our winners from last week's video, we have Isaac JS, who won a 1-year subscription to Key Collector, and Nice Cover Bro won a copy of House of X #2.
We're sending Ninja Diary Comics and a copy of Absolute Carnage #1, and we're also sending Captain 1414, that variant from Dark Age.
That is so cool. And that variant is spiked to over $50 now.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. Thank you so much to Key Collector for being a fantastic app. What's that code again, Tom?
Tom101 to get your free 1-week subscription. We do appreciate the comic book community. Thanks for being here today. And as always,
Geek responsibly.
enough said. Russ, it is the 16th now. We are officially open for enrollment for the September Mystery Mail Call.
Awesome.
All right, hit the link in the bio. If you haven't joined the community, now's the time. I got to just remind everybody that we send out art prints in every single
They're
box
so
now.
cool.
It's courtesy of Kevin, and I'm so stoked about this. And I'm excited to send every member a signed limited edition print courtesy of our new sponsor. Geek responsibly.